Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to the boat gang. Got the Miss Geico 17 on the freaking block. Okay. Oh, I'm stoked about this video right here. Okay. Today we're going to be upgrading the boat. We're going to drop a little big block in there. All right. Traxxas 380 Finalizing 4000 kV 3S capable motor. 50 amp Flycolor ESC. It barely fits, but it fits. Okay. And we're going to be testing out the blueprint on this boat. Okay. I spent, literally like a couple months blueprinting this boat. Not really, a couple weeks, but it's done. It looks freaking sweet. I got a full video if you're looking to blueprint your boat. I got a full tutorial just came out. We gotta modify the boat. We gotta make all this fit. Okay, so we're gonna do a full upgrade. All right, so stick around. Big B with Ironclad RC. When RC boat guys lose their freaking mind, son. all right. I'm stoked, you guys. I've been wanting to blueprint this boat for some time now, and I finally did it. All right, and it's like, it's freaking perfect, son. It is perfect. This thing ought to do, my goal is 50 plus. All right, it ought to do 50 plus mile an hour. At least. It's going to take a few outings, but we're going to get it. 50 plus is my goal. When RC boat guys lose their damn minds, son. Okay, so my plan. We're going to cut all this out. Okay, we're going to cut all this old motor mount. I lost the mount and everything. You know, it's gone. I don't know where the hell it's at. So I lost all that. We're going to cut it out. That's where the battery goes. That's where the motor went. And I'm going to cut this lip right here out. Okay, that lip is kind of hindering a lot of the room to be able to get stuff in and out the boat. Once we get all this cut out, we're going to drop the 380 in. Hopefully I got the angle and everything right on the motor mount, homemade motor mount. And we're going to push the Flycolor 150 in there. Okay, or no, Flycolor 50. It's going to be like a 150 in this boat with that Traxxas Finalizing motor. All right, I got to drill some damn holes on the motor mount. Yes, sir, buddy. Got me a clean canvas to work on, huh? All right, so I used this diamond cutting wheel right here and cut the old tray out. It was like CA glued in there pretty good. Okay, and I couldn't like cut all of it out. You know, I left me a little piece right here to hold my stuffing tube. All right, and I left this back part of the tray. Okay, it actually goes from here to the transom, so I could probably pull this all out and lighten the boat up a few grams, but I figure I'll leave it. It'll just make it easier for me with the whole install build right now, because I'm ready to see this boat in action. I know a few of you guys are too. So I cut it all out with this, and then I used this to cut that lip off around the edge. Okay, I left this little lip just to help keep water out the boat. When I cut that lip out, it actually had this big place back here. It had a magnet to help hold the lid on, which the magnet didn't really work anyway. And it's a tight fitting hatch, so I really didn't need it. You know, I usually tape this thing up with water, you know, hatch tape. So I'm super happy I took that out. Okay, whenever I was cleaning up the rest of the motor mount and battery tray, I use this little custom sander right here, you know, to sand the rest of it flat. So all this right here is basically roughed up, and I got it cleaned up, you know, minus that little area right there. But it looks good. It looks good. And now that I cut this right here out, okay, and the battery tray, we can put two 1300 milliamp batteries in the boat. 3S, okay, boom. In the sponsons. Come on, huh? All right, parallel operation. Or I freed it up so I could put this big boy 2200 milliamp 50C 3S battery in the boat. Boom! I would probably just run one of these, okay, because the boat would be heavy. I'll probably end up just running one 1300, you know, at a time, but I have the option now. Just Velcro. A little bit of Velcro. I got Velcro on most of my batteries. I just put some Velcro in here. All right, I've already reinforced the inside of this sponson with fiberglass and epoxy, so that's good to go, and that's going to be perfect. Okay, so my motor mount, it was a little bit too high, but I was going to make a new one. I was like, man, shit, I got to make a new one. And then I just elongated the holes so I can move the motor up and down. Easy fix. Easy. Okay, boom. I drilled my epoxy damn holes. We're about to epoxy it in the boat. All right, I got a perfect angle to my flex cable right here. Okay, Got a perfect angle. Boom! Alright, so we're going to go ahead and mount that up in the boat. But first, I think I'm going to go ahead and mount my ESC up forward. Alright, go ahead and get that out the way so I don't have to like reinstall my motor, pull it out, reinstall it type deal. So I need to find a receiver to use for the boat, and we need to go ahead, get it working with a remote so I can get the direction worked out, because this is going to be up here, and it'll be hard for me to hook the motor up once I'm all done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm basically going to go ahead and get all that figured out right now. Okay. Yeah, you guys, I got my Flycolor hooked up to a SR315. I got it programmed into my DX5 Rugged here. Our servo's hooked up, signal, ground, positive, that's all right. We got the motor hooked up to the ESC. I'm really just checking direction right now, make sure it's spinning counterclockwise. And when I was hooking up the motor, I found that I had the motor actually had some loose male bullets right here. Okay, they weren't fitting into the connector, the other bullet, the female bullet, real tight. So I went ahead and changed them out, as you guys seen. Okay, I'm kind of gonna kick myself in the butt. I know I will for running 3.5s, but I don't have any other choice. I don't have any 4mm. I got 6.5, 8, 5.5s, but I don't have any 4. Okay, so I'm gonna run these 3.5s. They may get hot, but at least I got a nice tight connection. You know, they're brand new bullets, both of them. Okay, so got that squared away. We're going to check motor rotation. Okay, I've already binded this up to the remote. All right, and we're getting an alarm. Okay, with this Flycolor ESC, you hear that? If you get servo, but the motor is beeping like it is. Okay, and a lot of guys have asked me how to fix this. So this is how you do it. Okay, you unplug it. All right, make sure it's all binded up. Okay, and if it's beeping, you got servo, make sure it's binded up. All right, we're going to unplug the battery. We're going to hold full trigger, okay, while we're plugging in the battery. So we got it binded. Okay, it was beeping, so we're going to hold full trigger on the remote, plug the battery in. You hear that? Now let go, neutral. Ready to go. Ready to go. You guys hear that? All right, so yep, we got it, okay. Oh, that's gonna be boss, boys. All right, so let me take this collet off. If you guys are like bench testing a motor, and you have a collet that doesn't fit all that great on it, you know, don't spin it up full RPM with the collet on, because you'll freaking bend a shaft. I've bent a shaft on a motor in the past, running dry, like bench testing it with a coupler on that was loose, and it was the centrifugal force of it spinning full RPM, it bent my shaft. A 5mm shaft at that. Sounds good. That motor's a little bit, it's old. It's an old motor, but oh my God, it's gonna freaking fly, boys. It's gonna fly. Okay. That's all I can say. All right, 4,000 kV. Woo! All right, so while I got this 50 hooked up, I've been meaning to hook this 50 kV up right here. I think this is like a 20mm. We'll check the motor rotation in a second. I want to hear this thing right here run, because I might put this in my wet pedal instead of that 2440. I might put this in the wet pedal for a couple runs. So let's check this thing out. Outrunner. Oh, that's nice. It's got some torque too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes sir, buddy. So that's the little shrimp boat motor right there. I might put that in my wet pedal. So let's check motor direction, and we'll install this ESC. Alright, so it's the wrong direction. Let's change the polarity here. Alright, that's it. That's her. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and heat shrink over that wire right there that's actually showing. I'm going to go ahead and heat shrink that, and then we're going to get this mounted up in the bow of the boat up here. It's a hodgepodge right now, but I got my water cooling hooked up. It's coming from the rudder to the motor. We'll trim all the hose up later on. From the motor to the ESC and out the boat. Okay, so we'll get all that worked out here in a minute. So I'm just trying to get this ESC plumbed in and wired up before I block it off, because it's going up front. So I'm trying to think ahead so I don't have to pull the motor and all that stuff. I have room to work like it is. Okay, so we're gonna slide this up here. Got my wires consolidated on top of the coolant here. Everything's ready to go. Okay, my connector's gonna hang out, and we're gonna get it pushed up here, hopefully. Gotta be careful, this boat's thin. Alright, and we can trim that hose up in a minute. So now we need to throw the collet, the coupler on. I'm just gonna use a brass coupler. Alright, actually, you know what? I think I have an offshore electrics that might fit better. I think I got an offshore electrics that fits better. Yep, and I do. Okay, so all these connectors, one of my subscribers, Brandon, thank you, brother, thank you. Got them all organized. If you're wanting to change motors out and stuff on boats, you gotta have couplers. It's a necessity. You gotta have several different types, you know, maybe 2 of each type, common types, especially the motor shaft that you run. I've got all different types of motors. Okay, so that actually does feel better. You guys probably hear my Great Dane back there scratching himself, flopping his ears. So that ESC looks pretty good up there. Okay, let's give the old cooling line a blow. Everything sounds good. Yes, sir, buddy. All right, so this stuff here is 50-50. I usually don't measure it. I'm pretty good at eyeing this stuff. All right, so I want to mix up quite a bit here. I don't want to skimp out on it. That's a big motor and a little boat, and it's going to be going fast as hell, so we don't want to skimp out on the epoxy. That's about it right there. Okay, I've actually used my sander to I made this special sander for my drag boat so I can get into tight places. Okay, I used that 80 grit right there. I roughed up the area where I'm putting it. Okay, and I also roughed up the bottom of my motor mount. Okay, I got those epoxy dam holes right there, which in my opinion, epoxy and metal on the plastic, fiberglass, you know, you got to have an epoxy dam hole. Metal or carbon fiber, you know, it holds better. So like I said, I got my area marked out right here. Okay, got the epoxy mixed up. This Bob Smith 30-minute got a fairly generous application here. I'll get this on the deck, and then I'll go through while it's curing and apply another application to the top side of the motor mount over those epoxy dams. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the motor in there. Let's not get epoxy on the wires. Get that in place. I got it marked out so I know where it's going to go. Let's get the shaft, the flex cable in the motor right here. That's going to help us get everything lined up. Okay, with this motor mount, like I said, I've got up and down adjustability on my motor on the mount, so that's going to help later on. Y'all see the epoxy coming through the dam holes? I've been actually drilling my dam holes larger than I used to. Seems like I get more epoxy through them. That's the whole reason for the dam hole. Okay, it just kind of locks the motor on the epoxy. So the epoxy's 90% set up. Okay, it's cured up. I can actually start working in the boat again here. So you know, since I replaced my ESC, my motor, blueprinted the boat, my flex cable, the end of my flex cable was kind of gnarled up, gnarly looking. So I found another .130 cable, okay, and I actually heated the shaft up, pulled my old flex cable out, put the new run of flex cable in my shaft, and I JB welded it. Okay, you just heat the shaft up, it'll pop your cable right out. Put a new one in. I use JB weld, just regular old freaking JB weld. You know, any kind of like epoxy weld will work. All right, it's been working good for these low power applications. You know, you start putting 6S on a joint like that, it may break loose, but 3, 4S, it's good. Okay, so we need to cut it to length. I actually got my length right here. Let's check the motor alignment to the cable. I'm ready to take this thing out. I'm ready to go. Okay, so once that's completely cured, I need to bend a little bit more angle on my motor. You guys see that? But it slides into it slides right in there. Okay, you see that right there? It's perfect, really. I may bend a little bit of angle on it just to kind of meet up with the stuffing tube a little bit better, but it looks pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. It's looking good. Oh yeah, I gotta put my foam in. I wish I would have filled this center section with foam before I put my ESC in there. So I actually got some foam cut into some strips right here that I'm gonna try to like shove. I got it cut for that angle right there. I'm gonna try to shove it in both sides, you know. Oh, that sucks, I forgot to put foam right here. I got my cable cut to size. Okay, let's check for fit. I'm not running a strut on this boat. I probably will have to now that I have this motor on the boat, so I may have to change this rudder and put it over offset with a strut. Not sure yet. We'll see. This right here with that unbalanced prop, we may bend that stuffing tube, but we'll see. All right, so it's pushed all the way in there, and that looks good. Okay, that looks real good actually. Yep, that's perfect. That's perfect. All right, so I got my little socket right here. This is a 1/4 inch socket that I filled with solder. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dip my cable into flux. We're gonna flux the end of this cable. This is a really fine stranded wire. Okay, this cable. And I've noticed with fine strand wires, they like to fray real bad, especially if you're running grub screws into them. You may not have to solder it with a collet that screws onto it, but if you're running a collet like I am to have grub screws, you're definitely going to have to solder the end. Alright, so I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to fast forward through it. Okay, so after you dip it, you just wipe the flux off. You dip it, wipe the solder off, because if you get too much solder built up on your cable, it won't fit in your coupler. Alright, so you dip it and wipe it off. You know, dip it about 10 times, wipe it. It'll look something like that. Dip it enough times that you get the solder in between the strands, you know. Otherwise, there's no point in freaking doing it. Alright, so let's see if it fits in the collet. A lot of times I've done this, built up too much solder on the cable, and it didn't fit. Pain in the ass. So you have to heat up the cable again and just wipe the solder off. So that actually fits pretty good. That fits pretty good. D-U-N done. Oh, I'm freaking stoked, son. Oh, I'm stoked. I am stoked, you guys. So I'm gonna walk you guys through it real quick. Okay, I'm gonna run a Octera 432 on the boat first thing. Okay, that's the first prop I want to run on it, because previous I tried running this prop on the boat and all it would do was flip over. As soon as I'd give it gas, even with the flex cable, it would just bloop, flip over every time I'd give it throttle. So I'm interested to see how the boat runs with this prop now. Previous, all I could run was a 30mm propeller. Any bigger, it would flip. Any smaller, it wouldn't go. 30mm seemed to be a sweet spot with the bottom in its stock form. So now we could do something. Okay, so I'm actually kind of worried about my stuffing tube right here. All right, it don't have a strut supporting it, and I'm kind of worried about it. So I've actually got a brass tube right here that I may actually slide over this, okay, just to reinforce where the shaft is, because I may do some bending to fine tune it, okay, and that'll actually support the shaft, and I may epoxy it to this little skeg right here, so it kind of supports it, gives it some rigidity. Okay, got the extended rudder dead center. All right, got it all hooked up, water cooling to the motor, out the motor to the ESC, out the ESC, out the boat. Okay, I use some hot glue right here. You guys know me and my hot glue with my boats. If I got a wire or something, I use hot glue. I built it up so it holds my tube in place, so it's not flopping all over the place. I'm gonna probably run that a 1300 milliamp battery on this side. I got my foam in the boat. Okay, I'm gonna probably do that to start off with, and then we throw the 2200 milliamp battery 50C in and run it on this side. I got some batteries on order, so and once they come in, we'll get one on each side and try it out parallel. Okay, I got a parallel adapter right here. All right, we'll run parallel batteries. Boom. Okay, all right, got the 0.130 cable is soldered in my collet. It's an 1/8 collet to 0.130 from OSE. Homemade motor mount. It's all cured out. Okay. 50 amp ESC, and I actually ended up putting a new servo in. This is a servo Brandon has sent me for that little mini hydroplane, and it's a lot quicker. I was surprised because I actually like these. They just go bad quick. They got all the power you need. They just have a weak motor. So I'm actually interested to see how this guy works and how long it lasts in the boat. Okay, so she's ready to roll, you guys. She's ready to roll.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100.
Guess you guys want to hear it run. Ooh, yes, sir, buddy. Oh man, I'm freaking stoked. So I'm gonna let you guys go. The video actually turned out to be long. I was gonna take the boat out in this video, but I got held up with the whole anyway, the install. So tomorrow I'll have the running video out tomorrow. All right. Oh yep, and the hatch actually fits on perfect. All right, we'll just tape it up like I've always done. We'll see you guys next time. Big B, we're Ironclad RC.